Hello everybody, Denobi2 here. Thank you for joining me once again on another visual tour. This time we're going to be looking at the Mark 45 diecast from Hot Toys, that is. And I'm pretty excited about this. I actually get a big kick out of the diecast line from Hot Toys, so this should be an interesting unboxing, and I'll be doing it live with you guys. Well, being taped and filmed that as I'm unboxing it anyway. All right, let's get right to it. Beautiful box, standard die-cast box we have come to know and love. If you guys have ever purchased the die-cast Iron Patriot and the Mark 42, you know it comes in a really hard cardboard box and then a reinforced styrofoam casing. And with the accessories on the left and the right and additional accessories on the top. And as far as accessories, very, very limited. In fact, as far as the battle damage goes, they're giving you the battle damage chest and some additional pieces here with the animated fire. I particularly do not like this, and I will not be displaying my Mark 45 with the animated flame because I think it actually makes the figure look very animated and action figure like, and I like to pretend these guys are real. Why not? For the amount of money we're shelling out, I want it to be as realistic and as film quality as possible. So anything that differs from that, making it look animated or action figure like, is a big turnoff for me. It's very well packed. You can see I'm removing the foam inserts here, and I gotta tell you, if I had to speculate, this is probably 70-80% diecast. The figure weighs very, very heavy, and I like that. I feel like I'm getting my money's worth in a diecast figure. The figure says when Hot Toys sells you a diecast figure, it should be diecast, and it feels very weighty, meaty like, and I like that. So it feels very, very good so far. Hint, hint, diecast RoboCop, but that's a story for another day. I'm going through my usual inspection here, kind of feeling out the joints, kind of removing the plastic here and kind of getting a feel for it. I always get blown away by the amount of articulation they put on the knees, but so far so good. What else you get in the box is the base and the drone. And I was actually somewhat impressed by the drone, only because of the articulation you get with it. Now, I will tell you, it feels like an overgrown Marvel Legends piece. It doesn't have a lot of detail up close, as you can tell. The head turns and there's a articulation on the joint there, on the elbow joint, but otherwise it really is meant as a background piece. And holding it in my hand and kind of looking at it, it's like, oh, it kind of feels like a Marvel Legends, like a Hasbro Marvel Legends. But like I said, that's not saying that you're not actually buying it for this. This is more of a decor background piece. Overall, okay, it's neat. It's really cool. The base, I believe it's unique. It's original. I don't think we've seen this base recycled by Hot Toys with any other particular figure. So that's kind of cool. I like that. The animated laser beams there, like I said earlier, I don't get a kick out of these. They're really neat and cool, and I'm not going to be displaying my Mark 45 with these pieces, even though it looks neat. Some folks, I guess it's really big in the Asian markets. They love to have these little thruster pieces and so forth. It does nothing for me. It feels more of an SR figure. The articulation on the waist, it's standard. There's nothing special about it, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the instructions, only because these die-cast pieces are a little bit trickier than your standard plastic versions of Hot Toys Iron Man soldiers. They incorporate the battery casings very well. It's designed to be hidden, to be blended in. So I will spend a few minutes off camera here studying where the batteries go and how I actually move the parts. Let's go back to this. You know, they give you, I should say, they tease you with a battle damage chest piece, and that's it. I don't know what the point is, since if Tony's going to go into battle, you would expect other parts of his body to get damaged, but Hot Toys feels that it's only the chest that is susceptible to damage and nothing else, not even a battle damage helmet. Take a look here, guys. Yes, I popped right off. Let's go back to the poppable chest plate by touching it later issue. You get 3 pairs of hands. You get the one that you get the pair that the figure gets, and you get the articulated fingers, and then you get the thruster hands. I always go with the articulated fingers, just because to me it looks a little bit more realistic, and you can just acquire a little bit more action poses with it. In majority of my Iron Man and the way I have them displayed, they're always going to have the articulated fingers, just because, I mean, to me they just look better and they look cool, and they do a really good job. Very simple, pops right off and pops right in. Very simple, very easy. Yeah, little 2 fingers there. It just looks cool. I prefer. This chest plate here, I had no idea how much of an issue. In fact, I had to kind of edit here because this is driving me bonkers. It doesn't fit. It pops right off. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Maybe it needs to click. Maybe I'm not pushing it hard enough. No, I'm doing everything right. It's just a bad design defect. So for shame on Hot Toys on that. That's not cool at all. Yeah, I don't like that. It doesn't feel secure. Even though when you're pushing it hard, you feel like you're going to break it. No, that's just, no, that's for shame on Hot Toys. And you know, in the end, I'm just going to end up displaying him with the regular plate, just because it feels a little bit more secure than that battle damage plate. So that's a no-no on Hot Toys. For shame on you guys on that crap. Pissing me off. Oh goodness. Waist. I'm always curious as to the amount of articulation Hot Toys puts in their waist, and this one's a little bit different. I don't like that fucking chest plate. Damn it, that's really starting to piss me off. And it gets even better because as I'm doing the tests and then the trials of the joints here, I noticed that the ankle plate covering popped right off. So now I have to spend a few minutes off camera here or with you guys, because if I have to suffer, why not make the viewer suffer and show you that I now have to resort to time here and glue a piece of the ankle guard there. And as I glue it on, I ended up taking like a 15-minute break. Yeah, it's really sad. It's almost come to the point where when I undo an unboxing or I get a Hot Toys Iron Man figure, I almost expect something to be broken now. I've had somewhat bad luck in that department. I really have. The top part of the helmet comes right off. I have my little drill there, very simple. I like to display my Iron Man, or I like to keep them, I guess, and display with the batteries. Some folks are against the batteries. I like all the Iron Man with the batteries just because that's just my preference. I know I may end up running the risk of battery leakage, but I don't care. I want the batteries installed in all of my Iron Man, and I'm pretty sure a few years down the road I'm going to end up regretting that, but for now it's what makes me happy as a collector. I like to have my batteries installed in all of my Iron Man. So I will give a little bit of credit to Hot Toys as far as when it comes to blending in the battery cases and so forth. They do a really, really exceptional job in that. And I mean, just look at that. The figure looks stunning when it's lit. These figures should always be displayed with the with their lights on, but unfortunately, because of the weakness of the batteries, you get maybe 10 to 15 minutes of illumination before the batteries conk out on you. And I have tried switching the batteries to Energizer, which gives you maybe an extra 20-30 minutes, but in the end, they don't last very long. Now, let's look at this, guys. Look at this shit. Look at these exposed shoulder joints. I hate that. I really, really do. This is not the first time where the shoulder joints look like action figure and are designed very poorly. They can do a better job. I mean, look at that. That is the Iron Patriot, and the shoulder joints are blended right underneath the armor, and it looks realistic. It looks movie film quality. But when you get to this guy, it looks like an overgrown Marvel Legends action figure. I mean, shit, even the shotgun here does a better job of hiding these joints, and it's incorporating the exact same. I don't, maybe it's something to do with the design of diecast, but the last time we encountered this was with the Mark 42 right there, and I gotta tell you, the Mark 42 doesn't seem so bad now as compared to this guy. So that's another point off on that shoulder. So yeah, I guess if you pose it right, you can hide that exposed joint a little bit better. Nevertheless, though, it still bugs me. I shouldn't have to use camera tricks and angles and posable figures just to make the figure work for me. And in the end, you'll join the Hall of Armor. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave your comments below. Denobi2 here. Bye-bye.